Hey, what's up, fam bam? I'm just peeling some potatoes. I made a YouTube video this afternoon, and I planned to upload it, but then I closed my eyes for a couple minutes, and I woke up, and it was about 3 hours later, so there's that. I had a pretty transformational experience this afternoon in the bathtub. The water is where I go to get my healing. I'm a Pisces. I find solace and comfort in the shower, in the bathroom. Like, nobody really bothers you when you're in the shower. You can't really do much. So it's like my space to commune with spirit, my meditation. In the next video, I'm going to tell you what came to me, a little synopsis of my YouTube video. Alright, so basically, if you've been following me, if you know me, you know that I am a mental health advocate. You know that I'm a survivor. I'm a combat Marine Corps veteran. I deployed to Afghanistan twice in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. And I've identified with that being my trauma and like mostly living with my mom. I had an evil stepmom, but basically I'm in a healing phase, and I realized why I'm so passionate about mental health, maternal mental health. I know why I'm so passionate about restoring the family, breaking generational curses, healing intergenerational trauma. I figured it out. It was right in front of my face and I couldn't see it. A little bit of backstory. I thought like I was into this healing because of my trauma in the military. But boo, it goes way beyond that. I do believe in reincarnation. I believe we choose our parents. I believe in soul contracts. With that being said, it hit me today, full circle. My dad's mom and dad committed a murder-suicide in their front yard in Sarasota off of Philippi Street. Back in 1971, my dad was 10 years old and he was down the road, and his parents decided to kill themselves. His dad killed his mom and then killed himself. My paternal grandfather murdered my paternal grandmother, and then he killed himself. He died 45 minutes later. My grandma died 3.5 hours later. She had an 18-year-old son in Vietnam, and she had a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old. My dad had to get packed up, and he was sent to his aunt's in Racine, Wisconsin. She had about 15 kids there, and my dad just ended up, he was an orphan. He ended up dropping out of middle school. But I had this whole full circle healing moment today because I came here to undo that in the bloodline. I came here, I chose my parents to be the best teachers. And I feel like I'm low-key a little bit like my grandma. Why did he kill her? Well, my dad is pretty much the only person that holds the truth. And it might be distorted. He was 10, traumatic. It might be washed out of his brain. My uncle was too young to remember, and then my oldest uncle is already passed away. So, I feel like Grandma and Grandpa didn't have the tools. Grandma wanted a divorce and she wanted to remarry, and that was taboo. You didn't do that. That was sacrilegious in the 70s. So she remarried, and Grandpa couldn't live without her. It was a sad, tragic love story. He killed her at the house that they lived in when she was moving her stuff out. It's a sad, tragic love story. And my poor grandma doesn't even have a headstone because there must have been some bitterness about her ex-husband killing her. So I got you, Grandma. I got you, boo. Yeah, of course. I feel like I have more mommy issues than daddy issues. I believe my dad is a great guy. He was robbed of his childhood. He was robbed of his childhood. He doesn't know how to be a dad, really. He's got 5 daughters from 3 women. And in that light, I can hold compassion. A couple years ago, when I found out the true house, I pulled all the records. I went on ancestry.com, and I got all the premium reports and all of that, and I grieved so hard. And I grieved for my dad because I can't even imagine. No wonder why my dad is the way he is. But he's a good guy. So I had a full circle moment in the tub today because I was given greater clarity as to what I incarnated to. I knew it. It was right in front of my face. Grandpa was a World War II veteran. I don't know much about them, only what Ancestry.com provides. Most of the knowledge and information is the people are passed away. So basically, one of the reasons why I'm so intent on healing the bonds between my child and I, healing military families, strengthening military families, helping put a dent in suicide, veteran suicide. This gives a clue as to why I fought so hard to leave, why I fought so hard to stay. This stuff gets passed down in your DNA. It's in your genetics. I literally overcame that. Full circle, I didn't see that the reason why I'm healing this is because my grandparents didn't have an opportunity. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's many other reasons why I came here. It's called the experience, human experience life. But there was a very big blind spot that I did not see. And I just started crying. I was trembling in the tub because I'm just honored and I'm grateful to be a part of this. I'm grateful to be a part of the Great Awakening. I have compassion and love for my dad and for my grandma and grandpa because that must have been so hard. Like, I could have been one of the 22. And then look at this. I am a product. I am the granddaughter of somebody who you could think was the 22. Murder, suicide, that's in my family tree, baby. So basically, sometimes the answers are right in front of our face and we don't see them. It wasn't time yet. A couple years ago, I went on a mission and I went to the house. I went to my grandma's grave. I went to the house. I showed up at my grandpa's old home, which was on Siesta Key. Grandma lived by Philippi Creek. Well, that's where they both lived. And I'm just honoring them because it must have been so hard. It must have been so hard. But it gives me a clue as to why my life has been this way. Dealing with postpartum depression, dealing with suicidality, suicidal ideations. I literally try to take myself out before I had my kids. So this is where it runs in the family. This is where it runs out, boo. My dad is not a bad person. He just doesn't know how to be a dad, and I wonder why. So, I love that man. I love that man. Once again, I believe we chose to incarnate. My dad doesn't understand this, and he probably will not this lifetime, and that's okay. But I just want my dad to live out the rest of his life happy. He bought his first house, his first home last year, him and his wife. I'm really happy for him. This is the real deal, boo. This is life, honey bunnies. And then my grandma on my mom's side, my mom says it was suicide, but other people say it was not. So 3 out of 4 grandparents committing suicide, boo, that shit was destined to be in my arena. Shout out to God. All glory to God, because I could not be where I'm at today without God. And he's always protected me. I had Frankie, I had Fran.